Welcome to Finding Holiness, where we delve into timeless Torah wisdom, revealing the sacred in everyday moments. Join us on a journey to elevate your spirituality and discover holiness in every aspect of life. I'm your host, Rabbi David Kadosh, and together, let's embark on a path of spiritual exploration. I hope you enjoy this next episode. Okay. Per Gimel, Mishna Gimel, Masechet Ketubot. The Torah tells us that if someone violates a na'ara is a girl just over 12 years old, and she was not engaged, she was not in the status of Erusin. The Torah tells us we pay 50 shekel fine to her father. So now the Mishnah talks about a case where the na'ara was engaged. What would be the law? Na'ara shenit aresa v'nit garsha. Concerning a girl who was betrothed, Irusin, and then she was divorced before she got violated. Rabbi Yosef Galili Omer en aknas. Rabbi Yosef Galili says there's no fine that comes to her. The violator doesn't have to pay any knas to anyone. Rabbi Akiva Omer yesh la knas uknasah le'atzma. Rabbi Akiva says she does have a fine, but instead of that fine being paid to the father, the fine is paid to her. That's the difference in the situation. Hamefateh noten shelosha devarim vehaones arba'a. A mefateh is a seducer. He pays for 3 things. But the violator, the one who actually commits the act, he pays for 4 things. If a person was to violate a girl. Hamefateh noten boshet ufgam uknas. The seducer has to pay for the shame that he made her suffer. The devaluation, we're going to talk about this, which is the amount that her value is reduced, her market value, if she was sold as a maidservant. And as well, pegam. Pegam is the uknas. Sorry, boshet pegam uknas, and the fine of the 50 shekalim. Mosif alav ones shenotenet atzar. But the violator who is with this girl against her will, in addition to those 3, he also has to pay for the tzad. The tzad is the physical pain that he inflicted on this girl. The seducer doesn't pay for the pain because the na'ara consented to being with him. That's the difference between a seducer and a violator, and the pain is therefore not considered significant. You don't have to think way out of the box. Or a person that is in the status of raped, okay, you should violate it. There's much more pain involved in a person who consented to the act. So ma ben ones la mefateh. What is the difference between a violator and a seducer? Ha'ones notenet atzar. So it repeats that the violator pays for the pain. Va'mefateh eno notenet atzar. But the seducer does not pay for pain. Ha'ones noten miyad. The violator has to pay the fine right away. Even if he marries this girl, he has to pay the fine right away. But the seducer pays the fine only if he divorces her, meaning or sends her away, meaning chooses not to marry her. If he does marry her, then he's exempt from the fine. And last difference, ha'ones shote ba'atzitzo. The violator drinks from his pot. We'll see what this means. We're going to see that it means that he must marry her even if she's repulsive. The seducer can send her away if he wants to. He can choose whether he marries her or not. So Mishnah elaborates. What does it mean that the violator needs to drink from his pot? Even if she is crippled, suma, blind, or she's afflicted with tzarat and boils, he cannot refuse to marry her because she has any of these physical defects. However, nimsa ba erva devar erva, if there was a matter of immorality that was discovered, meaning let's say she committed adultery while she was married to him, or let's say she was unfit to marry a Jew, so let's say she was a mamzeret. In that situation, he's not allowed to keep her, has to get rid of her. Why? The pasuk tells us, the pasuk says that a violator has to take, she becomes a wife to him, isha harewiyalo, which implies that it's a woman who is halachically fit for him. If she's a mamzeret, she's not halachically fit. And if she acted immorally, also is not halachically fit. Yetoma shenit'arsa v'nitgarsha. If when the crime, question.
So people will take advantage of mamzer in this way. If they know if she's a mamzer, then people can take advantage of her.
But they can't. Oh, you're saying, but they can't keep her as a wife. You're saying you're going to take advantage and not keep her as a wife? Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I don't have a solution for that. It's a tough situation. Tough situation. You know.
Give 50 shekel.
Yeah, right. Yetoma shenit'arsa v'nitgarsha. If when he did the crime, the nara was an orphan or was engaged in divorce, betrothed and divorced, the fine we said is to her and not the father. Rabbi Elazar Omer, amefate patur. The seducer is completely exempt from paying the fine because when the woman consented to the cohabitation, she waived her right to the fine part. Ve'ha'ones hayav. But the ones, the violator, he has to pay the fine. He forced her to live with her. She didn't waive any of the rights. Ezo hi boshet. What is considered the payment for shame? Hakol lefi hamevayesh ve'amitvayesh. It all depends on the social status of the one who caused the shame, the man, and the social status of the one who suffered the shame, which is the girl. So if the man is on a high level, a very respected man, then the shame that he inflicts on the girl is less than if he was of a low status. And the opposite is true of the na'ara. If she is on a high status, then the shame she suffers is greater than if she was on a lower status. Pegam, how do I value the devaluation? Ro'inota ke'ilu hi shivcha nimkeret. We view her as if she was a maidservant who was going to be sold in the marketplace to someone who wanted her as like a servant and a wife at the same time. Kama haita yafa v'chama hi yafa. How much was she worth when she was a wife as a virgin, and how much would she worth now as a wife when she's no longer a virgin? The difference, that is the pegam that the person pays. Let's do one more Mishnah. Kol makom sheyesh mecher en knas. Whenever a girl is subject to sale by her father at a certain age, up to the age of 12, from the age of 1 to 12, in the olden days, the father used to arrange the marriage. Right? So it was called mecher. He said, yes, sell the daughter for a marriage. As long as the woman the girl is subject to the sale by the father, meaning up to the age of a na'ara, so up to 12, okay, then there's no fine. If that girl, if an 8-year-old is violated or seduced, there's no fine that goes, because there's no fine imposed in the case of a ketana. V'kol makom sheyesh knas en mecher, and whenever there is a fine, then she's not subject to sale by her father. Mishnah elaborates, ketana, a girl that's under the age of 12, yesh la mecher ve'en la knas, she is subject to sale from her father, but she cannot get the fine. And na'ara, yesh la knas ve'en la mecher, a na'ara is, she is over 12 and has 2 pubic hairs. That's the status of a na'ara. She gets the fine but is not subject to sale. And the bogeret is 6 months after the na'ara stage. Habogeret en la lo mecher velo knas. She doesn't get mecher, she cannot be subject to sale. At that point she's a full-fledged adult, she can make her own decisions. And she can choose to marry who she wants. And as well, lo knas, she does not have a fine because she's not nada. Okay, we'll stop here.